Hi guys, this is Arno Joubert, Technical Director at TechConnect, and welcome to another episode of Tales from the Towers. Today I'd like to cover a topic called consistency, one of the first rules of success in life and in business. And on that topic, I'd like to tell a story that we touched on last week, where Niku said we were strapped to a tower saying, "Hell no, we won't go." So basically, what happened there is we met somebody that told us there's a tower space available on a high site that we're looking at for quite a while. And the site was an army base camp with the army building, a building manned by the South African National Defence Force. And we tried to mount our equipment on this building on the Lebombo Mountains and drilled for hours and hours to get through the wall. We didn't know that it was basically a metal reinforced wall with 5-inch metal plates in between the walls. And we eventually managed to get through this wall with the metal plates. And lo and behold, when we mounted our equipment and got everything up and running and connected our first couple of clients to this equipment, a colonel from the army came and unplugged our equipment because we ran a long extension from inside the building to our equipment. And he was not very happy, as only a colonel in the army could be, shouting expletives and swearing at us and freaking and asking us what we were doing there and damaging government property. And in the meantime, we were receiving phone calls from our clients that were not connected to this building, to our tower, because the power was off. And so I'd put the plug back in while Niku talked to this colonel, who was very unhappy, warning us that he'll fine us and send us to jail. And suffice to say, we sat there the whole day, plugging in our equipment that the army colonel was plugging out, thinking in our minds, what did we get ourselves into? Because somebody gave us permission to connect to this building that we didn't have permission to connect to. And that just goes to show that always get permission from the people that you're mounting your equipment to their buildings to. So what ended up happening was the farmer and the owner of this farm where the army building was built gave us permission, and it was very, very nice. He saw that we were new in this game, and he said, okay, he'll give us tower space for 3 months. We didn't have to pay him. And he kind of probably felt sorry for us because we really didn't know what we were doing. But yeah, that's just telling the story that Niku touched on last week about the hell no, we won't go. We were sitting there in the blazing Kumati sun, plugging back equipment as the crows circled above us, waiting to to feed on our flesh once the colonel was done with us. So it was quite a hectic story. We got through that unscathed. But today I want to quickly talk about the three podcast celebrities or social media influencers that we follow and the common traits that they all have. And the first guy that I want to talk about, his name is Andy Frizella. If you'd like to follow him, please let me warn you that he does swear a lot. He likes the F word and he throws a couple of F bombs. But he's been a brilliant businessman for the past 20 odd years. Started when he was 21, I think. He's 42 now. Built up massive companies called First Form and 7 others. Very, very successful, employing hundreds of people, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of turnover. And his personal motto is personal excellence is the ultimate rebellion. The founder of a program called 75 Hard, which is basically a 5-step program to help you build mental discipline. He always says this is not a challenge, it's a way of life. So if you want to read up more about 75 Hard, please feel welcome. It's a 75-day program that tests your mental grit, that learns you self-discipline, teaches you self-discipline, and helps you organize your life and get some self-discipline in your life. Please have a look at that program. And one thing that he always says is consistency is everything. If you want to outlast your competition, other businesses, etc., be consistent. It's like a pyramid. Many people at the bottom when you start, and as time goes by, they fall by the wayside. And as long as you've got a good product and a good business, and you're good at the work that you do in your business, you will outlast everybody. Being consistently good. So next person, Alex Hormozy. Not many people have heard of him. Started a company called Gym Launch, I think it was called. Launching gyms in America, having a chain of his own gyms. He found a secret formula by doing various Facebook ads and things like that. Brilliant mind, brilliant guy, highly intelligent, and you must have seen him on social media. He's everywhere these days. And basically, he is all about 10xing your output. If you reckon you're working hard, you're not. You need to 10x the amount of work that you're doing. He's told a story where one of his clients was doing very well with giving out flyers, handing out flyers to advertise his business, and then he tried it. And when the client asked him, how did it go? He said, well, he handed out the flyers, and all that he got was one phone call because he put the flyer in somebody's windshield, and the guy said, you're damaging my car. So he got one complaint. And the guy said, oh, how many flyers did you hand out? And he said, oh, 250. And the guy blinked and looked at him and said, 250? I do 5,000. And that's just a test. At a test site, I do 5,000. And if that works, I do 150,000 a week. So imagine 250 against 150,000 flyers. That's 10xing effort. And that's how much you need to do to achieve success. David Goggins always says, you're thinking you're pushing your body to the ultimate max, and then you're at 40%. So Alex Hormozy is all about 10xing your effort and educating yourself. He always says that, why do you spend money on things that you do not need when you can spend it on your education? And it doesn't mean a college education or a university education. It means job-specific training. If you're in a sales job, read up everything that you can about sales and how to sell and how to be persuasive and your tone of voice and how to interact with your prospects, be it B2B or B2C sales. Learn everything that you can about sales. Get the qualifications. If you a hairdresser, specialize. Get the qualifications to put hair extensions in, double your income. Spend money on educating yourself in the job that you're busy with. And that's the central hypothesis that he has for everything in life, is you've always got to be learning. You've always got to be educating yourself. Third person that I'm following that I really enjoy and love is a guy called Ed Mylett. As I'm doing this podcast, he's 52, multi millionaire, very rich. Started in personal finance, selling policies and things like that. And what makes him different is his dad was an alcoholic, and he said he used to be able to judge his dad's mood by just listening to the way that he would put the key into the door lock, and you would know that his dad was drunk, and he would try to change his dad's mood. And as he learned to judge people's characters and their tone and their moods, he took that into business and made a massive success out of becoming one of the best personal finance advisors in the world. And today inspires millions of people with his podcast called The Ed Mylett Show. He wrote a book called, what was the book called? One More, The Power of One More. And it tells a story of how his dad became sober. And he asked his dad, Dad, are you going to be sober for the rest of your life? And his dad would say, no, Eddie, but I'll be sober today, one more day. I'll be sober one more day. And the message that comes out in that book is that if you're having a tough time or losing hope, just hold on for one more day, work hard for one more day, try for one more day. If you're in the gym, do one more rep. If you're making phone calls, make one more call. And that way, that's how you become personally excellent. He's also a very religious man. He's all about his faith. Um, and he's all about consistency, being good every single day, doing your best every single day. And he makes the example of how if you diet or if you work out, that it's not going to take you 2 weeks to attain your goal weight and your goal physique. It's going to take months and months and years of doing the right thing every single day and surrounding yourself with the right people every single day that'll motivate and inspire you and help you become your best self. Um, so another thing that comes through a lot, Alex talks about this, is that skill basically is the amount of effort that you put into whatever you do times the time that you spend on it. So you develop skill by putting in a lot of effort and doing it for a long time. And you develop mastery by taking that skill and using it for a long time. You always see the rugby player scoring the try, scoring the conversion, but you never see the thousands and thousands of hours that they spend in the gym, on the training field, um, planning the game. You only see that 80 minutes that they're on the field. And that 80 minutes on the field is a culmination of years and years and years of effort and hard work and training and showing up and putting out every single day to be able to score that World Cup winning final try by Cheslin Colby. So consistency is the first rule of success and mastery. Show up every day, consistently give everything you can, and giving your best. So consistently plying your trade over a long period of time equals mastery of that trade. And the same message comes through from all the successful people that I listen to. The same thing that they tell us over and over again is be consistent. Most successful businesses, entrepreneurs, people working in businesses are people that outlast their competition. If you want to become like a master entrepreneur in the business, an entrepreneur working for someone, just be better over a longer period of time. Be better than anybody in that business. Become a linchpin in that business. Show up every day. Be on time. Be early. Work hard. Don't be somebody that works your office hours and reckon that you're going to achieve success that way. The attendance-based compensation type of person, the ABC. I've attended, now I'm get compensation for the hours that I attended. It may work in certain businesses, in certain departments, government departments. Trust me, if you want to rise and succeed and be the best, that doesn't work. You need to be willing to put in the hours after time, after hours, do the studies after hours, put in the hard work after hours, and make the difference between yourself and your competition after hours. Andy Frizella always says you pull ahead of everybody else on a Sunday because that's when everybody rests and that's when you can get ahead of the competition. So my conclusion here is that working at something consistently guarantees your success. Giving your best consistently every day guarantees your success. It's like gravity. It's a rule of life. Be consistent and taste the success. Thank you. That's the second episode of Tales from the Towers, and we'll chat again next Thursday.